All right, so hopefully everybody's had a chance to check your, to complete this, and you're using this to check your answers. So it says 3A group work. A small business has been selling 200 digital locking cookie jars per week. That's led them to losing $150 each week, a net profit of negative $150. According to their business plan, their net profit will increase by $12 for every unit they sell. So question 1, what evidence do you see that would lead you to conclude that this is a linear relationship between net profit and units sold? Well, if the net profit is always going to go up by $12, so right there, that's saying it's linear because it's always going up by the same amount. Number 2, what are the independent, dependent variables? The independent is the number of units sold. Dependent is going to be their profit. What is the slope? How do you know that? It is 12, and that is the rate that the profit is changing. Okay, so let's write the equation in slope-intercept form. Well, we know the point, okay, 200 means negative 150, so if they sell 200 units, they lose $150. So that's my point, and we know that the slope is 12. So I took my point slope form, and I replaced slope, m is 12, and I know my x is 200, so 200 came with the x, and then y got replaced with 150. And now just note it's plus, and the reason it's plus is because this is a negative 150, which is going to change the sign in the equation. And then it says write the equation in point slope form. So I did that, and now it wants my answer in slope intercept form, which means I have to solve this equation for y. So I'm going to distribute the 12. So I get 12x minus 2400, and then I'm going to bring this 150 over to the other side, because 150 and negative 2400 are like terms. So when I bring it over the other side, it gets minus 150, which gives me a final slope-intercept equation of y equals 12x minus $2,550. Right? And what is the y-intercept? It is the point 0, negative 2,550, because remember, this is always going to be my b, which is my y-intercept, and it means if they sell no units, they're going to lose $2,550. All right, question 6. How many cookie jars do they need to sell in order to break even? Well, that means their profit's going to be 0. So 0 is going to equal to 12x minus 2,550. I need to solve this for x, so I'm going to add 2,550 to both sides. Divide by 12 means that it's 212.5. Well, they cannot sell 0.5 cookie jars, so that means they need to sell 213 jars just to break even. And we're going to use this equation that we have. We're going to fill in this table, so you should have this. And you would get a graph that looks like this. So here's my y-intercept. I know my x-intercept is 213, which is going to be right about here, which gives me that line. Okay, find the number of units needed to make a profit of at least $500 per week. Well, at least 500 means 500 needs to be the minimum. So the 12x minus 2,250 needs to be greater than or equal to 500. And that should say 2,550. I don't know why I put 2,250. But this is all correct here. So this says divide 2,750 by 12. So we get x is greater or equal to 229.2, which is 230 or more units. Okay, question, the next question is going to be on a different problem. It says a custom shirt shop charges a setup fee plus an additional fixed amount per shirt. An order of 20 shirts costs $188, and an order of 25 shirts costs $228. Okay, so something to think about, just like we did in the class problem, these are going to represent 2 points in the problem. So my first point is going to be 20, 188, and my second point is going to be 25, 228. Does this represent linear? Yes, because it describes a fixed amount per shirt. Okay, we know the independent is going to be number of shirts. My dependent is going to be the cost. What is the slope? Well, I talked about those 2 points a little bit before. So these are my 2 points. I'm going to use those 2 points. I plug them into my slope formula, and it gives us a slope of 8. Okay, so 228 take away 188 is 40. 25 take away 20 is 5. 40 divided by 5 is 8. And it means every shirt costs $8. Okay, question 12, find an equation that will allow us to calculate the cost of ordering any number of shirts. I did this 2 different ways, okay? I think that this way is easier. You can see I put a note, easier. But this is the original way that I showed you in the class notes, so if you like it that way better, you can focus on this. Please do not copy both of these down. Only choose the one that you think is the easier method based on how we've been doing this. So I'm just gonna go over this one. So using point slope form, I picked the point 20, 188. I put 188 in place of y, 20 in place of x because x, y, and I know that my slope is 8. So y minus 188 is equal to 8 times x minus 20. Distribute the 8. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 20 is 160. Now I need to solve for y, so I had to add 188 to both sides. So I put the plus 188 over here, and negative 160 plus 188 gives me 28. So this is my final equation. Okay, what is the y-intercept? Well, it's 28, it's my b. What does that mean? It means that this is the cost just to get set up. All right, graph your line. Well, my y-intercept is about 28. So here's 28. And we also know another point, so I plotted the point that we were given, 20, 188 is about right here. Draw your line. And I'm just realizing that I did actually not label my axes, so you really need to label your axes. So what are the things that we are talking about? So if I go back to the beginning, number of shirts and cost. So I should have written number of shirts here and cost right here. How much would 35 shirts cost? Well, I know my equation, y equals 8x plus 28. I replaced x with 35, and it gives you $308. How many shirts could you order if you don't want to spend, if you want to spend at most 500? 500 is going to be your biggest, so 500 has to be greater than or equal to 8x plus 28. Subtract 28 from both sides, get 472. Divide by 8, you get 59. Which means 59 is greater than or equal to x, which is the same thing as saying x is less than or equal to 59, means that they can order at most 59 shirts. All right, and then I did the did you get it, just so you can see another example of a problem to do. Take the 2 points given, I calculated the slope. After you find the slope, I picked one point, m, x, and y, plug them into point slope form, solve that equation, and you get that. All right, so make sure you complete the homework. I just want to note that we are skipping 3.9. So when you do the homework, we are moving next week to 3.10. So next week we're skipping 3.9, which means that you are not doing the prep skills for 3.9 this week, just the applications. All right.